Hello and welcome to my slideshow. For my Unit 6 Task 1 in BTEC, I'm required to define media audiences in my chosen series. Let's go ahead and get started. To begin with, I will show you methods on defining your audience and collecting different types of data efficiently. Generally, there are two ways to collect data. This would be either through quantitative data research or qualitative data. Quantitative audience research involves mainly three types of statistics and facts, rather than emotions like surveys. This can be done through one of the following methods. Original information can be collected from advertisements either online or even on telephone surveys. However, it can be longitudinal in nature, especially when collecting answers which are used to be compared over time. Secondly, you can get it through transaction data review, which usually collects without the overt questioning style of the survey, collects within registration databases, which is more of a survey style of data collections. They contain transaction information, which is usually internal information caught by a brand and not directly collected for audience research purposes. And your last option would be through web analysis, which is very close to transaction information, as it's very good for monitoring online behavior. This usually would be held outside or on the edge of a brand's domain signpost pathway to digital interactions. Moving on to qualitative audience research, unlike our previous method of research, this is a more open form of research, which is usually in the form of face-to-face conversations in person or even on Skype calls, for example. This often focuses more on the feelings and emotions associated with the answer rather than collecting numbers. Some more examples of this type of research would be focus groups or individual in-depth interviews, as it would usually consist of a group of people sharing their thoughts and information about the service, product, campaign, or even a specific topic. This is useful as you can observe their body language, which sometimes speaks more than words. But your last option would be to resort to case studies. Even though this would be a qualitative ethnographic method of studying the interactions between an individual, product, or system and the context of its environment. There are disadvantages with case studies, as people who conduct this research methods usually end up relying on interpretations of the original researcher, may affect how valid their findings really are. Let's move on to primary and secondary research. In primary research, you can gather information yourself through questionnaires, which are a set of printed or written questions with a choice of answers devised for the purpose of surveys or statistical studies. Surveys are question templates that are designed to help collect information regarding your research, which helps the filmmaker understand the needs of the viewer through a selective amount of questions. Focus groups, a group of people assembled to participate in a discussion about the product before it's launched, or to provide feedback on a political campaign, television series, for example. Face-to-face interviews, a meeting of people face-to-face, especially for consultations to see emotion types of reactions when talking about specific topics, since it's more personal than generalized. Primary research leaves you ensured that all the information gathered is correct, and what you should remember is how you can always update any information if it's required. Secondary research is practically the opposite of primary research, as all the information you find would have already been researched by someone else. This may be useful if you have troubles finding first-hand type information. A good type of secondary research would be BARB, which stands for Broadcasters Audience Research Board, which is a website which measures all the views on TV as well as show ratings, because it's a television research agency. They can assist companies in finding ways to improve whatever they produce. The only issue with this type of research would be the fact that it may be inaccurate. Now that we've established these research methods, let's relate this to my chosen series, 13 Reasons Why, and how it relates. 13 Reasons Why is based on the genre of teen drama and mystery. The most common theme would be better known as causes and the effect. The main actress, Catherine Langford, who plays the character Hannah Baker, constantly reminds us how their actions had specific effects on her life and the lives of others through the tape she left. According to the British Board of Film Classifications, most of these episodes are seen to have 15 as the age rating, which only means that the show will not be suitable for viewers under the age of 15. This age, however, increased its rating as 4 episodes received an 18 age rating due to the sexual violence and dangerous imitable behavior including portrayals of suicide and self-harm, which are flagged in the BBFC's classification guidelines. This is why, as a result, we see these episodes include warning texts on the screen, which note the sexual assault, suicide, and violence in these episodes, in order to warn the audience of upcoming content. We'd encourage any viewers or readers who have been affected by the content of this story to get in touch with Samaritans, who can listen and offer confidential support 24/7. You can call Samaritans free of charge on 116123 or find details for your local branch at www.samaritans.org. Any calls on Samaritan helplines do not show up on phone bills. Overall, within the first 3 days of its availability, which was during May 18th to the 20th, 13 Reasons Why garnered an average minute audience of over 2.6 million US viewers across all 13 episodes per Nelson. Primary audience research states about 75% of the viewers for 13 Reasons Why were 34 or younger, 65 were female, and 35 were male. For the secondary target audience, this would be targeted towards teenagers below the age of 17 with viewer discretion. This show would still split 65% female and 35% male. Some of the most popular critical sites include Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, Common Sense Media, and Google. As you may see, the ratings are indicated on the screen, giving 13 Reasons Why an overall high rating. The main primary audience who would be interested in 13 Reasons Why would fall into the B, C1, and C2 category, which is because it's aimed at a wide range of people from different ages. However, people in this demographic would most likely be around middle-class older adults due to its content. When it comes to the secondary audience, this would probably be a D and an E, as there are aspects of the show they may enjoy. Generally, as seen above, there are different psychographic profiles, but the one that suits 13 Reasons Why would best be the reformers, as they would seek freedom from any restrictions and personal growth through their social awareness and independent use of judgments. Another profile which younger audience members may have would be most likely the explorer one, as they value the experience and knowledge handed over to them through the show. In order to become successful with what you do, you need to be able to attract customers to your product. This can be done by simply determining who is most likely or wants or needs what you have to offer. If you identify your target audience, you would know how much demand there is for your product. You would also be able to set an effective marketing campaign that speaks to the right people just by using the right tone and the right language which would suit them better. In order to find out my results for my chosen TV show, I created this questionnaire on the right side of the screen and went around asking people their opinion on the show. Once I gathered all my results, it showed us how younger teens are less likely going to be interested in this show compared to the older audience members, which may relate more. This may be due to the graphicness which the show may sometimes portray. Here are a bunch of examples of the different results I got. I realized the majority of my results showed that younger generations are really not into the content that the show provides. This may be because younger audience members are more into their Marvel and DC comics rather than this touchy subject. What I also found out is that younger audience members are more likely to watch these shows online on sites such as Netflix. Most of the people classified themselves psychographically to be aspirers and part of the socio-economic demographic group, which is mainly linked to their age. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for watching.